What's their reaction when you bring up your single mom?
Normally they know right off the bat.
Right off the bat, okay.
That's like one of the first things, even I don't have a Tinder or anything like that, but if I were to have one, I would put in that. Like I'd put in my bio, like if I was on a dating app, I'd put that. If somebody asked me or somebody talks to me like, oh, what do you like to do? This and that. Well, I always find a way to throw in and say, hey, I have kids, without saying, hey, I have kids.
Yeah.
You know, and then they'll say, oh, well, they'll either chime in, hey, I have a daughter, or I have 2 kids, or I don't have any kids. Or they're asking me, how many do you have? And normally when they say, how many do you have? It means that they don't have any.
Yeah.
I'm just saying by the odds of like how many times it's happened to me that I'm like, when they say that, I pretty much means you don't have one. So then my next question is, do you want one?
Yeah.
Or how many do you want?
Yeah.
Because I don't really want any. Like I'm 98% sure I don't want any more. It would take a very special somebody for me to have another kid, because that means another, I hate to use this term, but another baby daddy, another freaking kid. You know, like I love kids. My kids, don't regret them by any means, but it's one more child to add, and it's a big responsibility. And as being previously divorced, I know what it entails as a single parent. I know I know the restrictions it puts on you and the burden it puts on you as a partner, a husband and wife situation. I know all of the work that goes into it. I'm not a first-time mom. This would make me a 5th-time mom. So I'm pretty chill compared to a first-time mom when you're stressing out in your helicopter mode and you worry about everything. But I know the real nitty-gritty, that I know that not just the rosy pink glasses effect of what you think having a baby or having a kid is. I know the reality of it.
Yeah.
I know the good and the bad. So I need that person to be like, okay. And that's my next question to them. Like, okay, so let's say they don't want kids and they never had kids, but they say they're open to having kids, open to, you know, embracing my children as their children. Well, are you really? Because they're different ages. Okay. So I got 12, 8 that's turning 9, 5 that's turning 6, 4 that's turning 5.
Yeah.
The youngest, the girl, 3 boys. Okay. So it's a lot. Like there's a lot of personalities. Most people that haven't had kids before have dealt with like maybe a sibling or maybe a cousin or babysitting, maybe a little nephew or something. It's not the same thing. You don't get to give that kid back at the end of the day. Like my kids are gonna be there, and you're gonna have to learn to like them when they're good and when they're bad. So are you willing to sign up for that? So it gets really complex, and I ask people that, and I listen to their answer, and that's how I decide if I want to like go through the talking phase with that person, and I keep digging, and I keep finding other situations, or I on a daily basis when like you're talking and in that talking phase, I'll say, oh, my kid did this, by the way, and I see what their reaction is, what they would say. Oh man, I would beat the shit out of them in that sense, or oh, that's not that big of a deal, because that tells me what your knee-jerk reaction would be if you were the one dealing with it.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Based on the type of other men that do show interest in you, the types of men that do show interest, are there that the men with the kids that have kids already, or that the men
most
who don't have kids?
That a good 75%
are the one that already have kids.
Kids
okay,
that have their own, that either have 1 or 2 is normally the average.
Okay.
It's very rare that I find anybody that has as many as I do or more, obviously.
Yeah.
But mostly 1 or 2. And then the other 25% ends up being guys that don't, but either it gets split like in half.
Yeah.
That they can't have kids for some reason, or don't want kids, or have made it so that they cannot have kids, or ends up being the ones that maybe want to have one day, but they're like, about it.
Do you prefer to be with a guy that has a kid that already has kids because he already has experience, or do you prefer to be with a guy that has no kids?
It's really going to depend on that person. Like the guy in the shopping cart has no kids.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good for him.
but he knows enough about my kids, and I know enough about his reactions to situations. Now, I know this is relevant, but it's not necessarily on topic.
Yeah.
another discussion point for me as far as the kid goes is there's going to be a period of time or that an extended period of time that you're not going to interact with my kids at all. Like you may hear of them, but you're not talking to them until I know for sure that I want you, I take you seriously, and I can see potential in this relationship for longevity. That I'm going to decide. You're not going to decide for me. I'm going to decide as the mom because these are my kids. I understand that they will be important to you, but at the end of the day, they are my kids, my responsibility, and I have to protect them. So when I know for sure that you're going to stick around, I will introduce you to my kids, and then we will have, it'll open the doors for more time together and do activities because my kids can be present. It won't just be either date nights when I don't have them or the weekends I don't have them. You understand? It opens up that door, but I'm not going to rush it just because I want more time, because I have to look. Yeah, I'm looking for love and what I need, but I have to look also for their needs.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Yeah. Christine and Aisha, do you want to add on anything? Anything you want to ask her?
I just wish
I
I
know
looked
a lot.
like that when I have 4 kids. Like, damn.
You can. You got 4 kids, and then you can go to the gym all the time.
Yeah, Talita, she got those those guns. Those guns, boy.
With that time, no, but
You got those guns locked and loaded. You got those guns.
Right.